Hi.
Right. Hey, hey.
We are back with Project EQ, and we're gonna launch into a video, and I'll talk a little bit about EQ just before we do. Project EQ surrounds the concern in the tech sphere as it relates to the Black empowerment movement. Is the concept of racism being baked into code? This game features the collective power of Black professionals creating a socially conscious AI to save the future of tech through music. The player plays the beat map, but the antagonist AI changes the scales, and we have to hit some of it to get a good score. But to get the highest of the scores, you have to improvise while being on beat. Without further ado, let's look at Project EQ.
Cute settings menu. All right.
I love a UI, so I'm all for it. Thank you for showing the settings menu because that's crucial.
There's obviously some effort put into that, right? So
Yeah.
they make that very game.
Can't hear the music. Though
People
there
on
is menu
stream
music.
can, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that.
This has got some vibe of I don't know, some kind of dimensional tunnel going on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Sonic Special stage.
Give me that. Very much that. That and like Beat Saber, but like in 2077, cyberpunk vibes. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So I was inspired by
Okay, I remember that one too.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because the first time I lose, and I was actually trying.
It's also cute that characters like dancing along the
I was
way.
gonna say the animations are like cute.
Yeah.
Did y'all make these original songs?
Yes, this is actually,
Yeah.
this is actually a song I made a long time ago. And I was using it as a test song, but then time became an S and time became a factor, and I was like, oh, because we wanted to use an easier song, but here it is.
Oh, and there's a little bit of narrative stuff. Okay.
Yep. More to come.
I love that.
Yeah, I wanted to try my hand at composing like a full level, but I don't think I have the time for it. But now I think I do.
The fact that y'all have characters with dance moves either makes me like, either y'all made the dance moves and like, animated it, or y'all found these moves and added it into the character.
Oh, those
Definitely assets.
those are definitely found.
Yeah, they're top quality dances there. They got all the types of look at that. They got all the types of dances. They got the Cabbage Patch.
Yeah. It's like Fortnite level, like,
But that's extremely impressive that like tracks are produced like that in and of itself. Like I know you said that you already had the song, but that's still so impressive to me to like layer that over the gameplay.
Yeah, it was actually you can find that track on the and a bunch of and it's separated specifically to be in a bunch of different parts.
Okay.
Because inspired by another project I worked on or I made called Very Extreme Core's Dynamic Dream, and it is this track is also in there, and you can do a similar thing with it where you can like change the parts and things, but in here you can kind of like improvise musically with it with the little like piano sound.
Well, that was super cool. I mean, you can definitely tell all the different elements that you guys have added into that. You've kind of already touched on expanding the project, but I'll start with, same question to you guys. The initial concept of your game, like you kind of talked a little bit about what inspired it, but could you guys talk about what inspired the mechanics, the overall idea for going this direction?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. So a little bit before the game jam was announced, I was just talking to Dave as we were like finishing up some like Crumble Party stuff, which is another game we worked on. And we were just basically looking at some ways to like improve his resume. And turns out Dave had a whole game, Dreamcore, that was just like a banger of like something to showcase, and he wasn't showcasing it at all. And so I was like, yeah, we can like actually make an upgrade from this if you really wanted to. And the game jam came at a perfect time to kind of like test that skill. So we made this it's very similar to it, except that it probably has a little bit more functionality to it. There's a settings window and let's see. Yeah, I think, and it has a nice, cool story as like an added bonus. So like, I think the inspiration from it was just coming from a lot of different like seeing what Dave already like had and just like expanding on it.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you guys were already talking about it, but you have plans to expand this further past this game jam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have plans to like add more songs, do more much more dynamic backgrounds, because well, this kind of leads back into the previous question, but it talks about where we wanted to go, because I would play a lot of rhythm games where you play like Guitar Hero and stuff, and it's like you will play these notes and those are the notes that you'll be playing and you're going to be happy with it, and I'm like, but what if I want to play the other notes? And the game's like, no. And I'm like, well, what if there was a game where you could? The only thing is you have to stay, in tune. And it's like, but what if there was like, you could also like dive into the music. Like, you're listening to a good song, you just want to like jump into it like it's a big swimming pool, and kind of like give that into the game. Like the song is not just like, it's like a whole world. So you kind of wanted to fill that in where the player could really dive in and like just enjoy the vibes and like jam out with the song, instead of the song just directly instructing them. The instruction is just like playing the right key, but other than that, feel free. It's like a music jam. It's like a little jam session, but in a game. So yeah, we want to expand upon that and do more stuff, more dynamic backgrounds, and Unreal has a lot of features for that are a little complicated to use at times, but they are there and they exist, and we're gonna try to use them.
Yeah, we want to expand the story a lot too. I think the inspiration we had was like you said, bringing awareness to, bias being baked into code and things like that. And a big inspiration that we took from as well was a documentary on Netflix. I think they released in like 2020 called Coded Bias, where they explore an AI or like machine learning in general and how they could have biases baked into them and how to resolve them.
Yeah, that's such a powerful message. I remember watching that documentary too, like as a software engineer, knowing that a lot of these things are coming out and like having to, generate our own content in a way to combat that. So that's a very powerful message to go off of. But yeah, no, thank you
100%.
guys. Thank you guys so much for this, for your message, for your game. That is Project EQ, guys. Please check them out. They have future plans, so they keep planning on expanding it. But for right now, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you've made. We'll go ahead and see you guys in a second for our next game, Earth Hero.
All right, good
Thank
stuff, y'all. Good job, everybody.